Uh, so is Stace the only one here? Oh no, there's 12 people here.
No, there's plenty of people here. And hello, everyone. Welcome to Superfed TV's Div 1 through 3 recap with my always punctual and regular appearing co-host, Rumblebee. Rumblebee, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Just fucking great. God, that's my one already. Forgot I'm doing a recap. See, this is what the live streaming thing, especially after a game, is going to do to me. I can already just get on my edge. Okay. So, yeah, a game was just played. How was your game last week, Rumblebee?
It went well. I won 2-0 against some Chaos Dwarves. Makes me feel better about losing 2-0 to the all-man's Norse team.
Yeah, that's true. That was an experience.
I was so angry with that team.
Yeah. Turns out, dice are a big factor in Blood Bowl games.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed.
It's so weird being on the receiving end of a dicing because I'm not that great of a coach. So whenever I beat someone who I know is better than me, I always think it's the dice. And I always just brush it off, be like, no, I just played unusually well. And then the dice happen.
You experienced it
I
firsthand.
experienced it firsthand. And
yeah,
it made me feel a little bit better about myself because I get salty. But a lot of times I'm just like, I'm not that good. I have no reason to be salty. But then I listened to Mistays, and I was like, okay, Mistays knows what he's talking about, and he's telling me that I'm getting pushed over right now.
Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until last week, I didn't realize how bad it was. A, my dice were bad, and B, the Kislev are basically chaos at rookie status.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, I felt a little bit better about it. But it's like that old saying where, the world's best sword fighter doesn't worry about the second best sword fighter in the world. He worries about the rookie because he has no idea what he's going to do. And when you play Blood Bowl and you're used to playing against Div 1, 2, 3 coaches, you get used to a certain style of play, and you can play around that and adapt to that.
Right. And
then you play fresh teams.
Yeah, there's someone who goes all man's on the line against a dwarf team.
Right, and then all of a sudden you get, no removals, and they get all the removals.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And to cap it off, I haven't rolled anything but a 1 for winnings, so I only have 40k in my bank. I'm on game 3. I have to replace a Troll Slayer, and I still don't have an Apo.
You are the inverse of me. I don't think I've rolled below a 5.
Ugh.
That's why I have more positionals than I want right now. I'm at 1400 TV, or no, I'm probably closer to 1500 TV now. 7 games in. It's not where I want to be.
For my game against Grizut this week, he's down 3 players, and I'm still going to be able to get a wizard.
Jeez.
Like, I haven't gotten any skills except some guard on my Longbeards.
Oh, guard's good. Go ahead and break Grizut's teeth and team for me.
That's a good one, Orange. No, man, you can stay. I liked it.
Yes. It's funny is my name does not come from team value. Believe it or not. I didn't even know what Blood Bowl was when I had this name. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the Division 3 and start talking about some of the matches that happened last week. So, Kamaun Consulting, Darkanons, Kislev, they had a rough week 1 against some elves, and they came back swinging against Stouticus's Nurgle. 14 armor breaks to 8. 3 expulsions, so they were putting the boot in. And only 5 KOs. They didn't actually remove anyone except via foul. Because foul injuries are not showing up here, and I know that those were a factor. Grungy Desserts only picked up the ball basically once. Not a good ball possession game for the Nurgle. And the Camry walk away with the win. Farm Animals and Rebellious Scions. I guess I didn't ask. I knew the Rebellious Scallions. What you wanted me to say?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Just...
Go ahead. You really like the Scallions.
Uh,
I wanted to ask you though, have you watched any of the games this week in Divs 1 through 3 before I just rattle through them all?
Divs 1 through 3 are dead to me now that I'm in Div 10.
They're so far away from you, you don't even know what they look like.
I mean, I look at bot reports.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Anyway, Chabsu streamed this one. He broke some elves. I believe there was a early snake dodge, which was like a first action or second action after all of the elves were based, and from there the removals happened, and not a lot of extra blocks were needed after that point. Not a lot the Dark Elves could do when they were so down in numbers, and Chabsu is playing a pretty solid control game for his Chaos, so he gets another 2-0 win, and now is really in an early lead. Farm animals are looking like they will be a top contender. Scooby and the gang lost 0-1 against Mutants in Human Clothing. This one, though, was a bit of a back and forth when it comes to some big injuries. Scooby and the gang niggled the Mutants in Human Clothing's star Storm Vermin. It's like a level 6 Storm Vermin, so that's kind of a big deal. Conversely, the Strength 4 Werewolf for Scooby and the gang will be out next week. So, big removals that are going to affect them going into week 3. But the Underworld do get the win. Murderers Row took 2-1 win over the Pantheon Passers. I didn't get a chance to watch this one, and this one I kind of want to watch. This is a rematch from last season. Murderers Row did not have the best luck against the Elves last season. I think they fared better than most of the Necro, but they were certainly able to get some removals here. 6 KOs, 3 injuries on 35 blocks. I just remember them not being big on fouling, and I think that's a factor, so I'm curious. He still has no expulsions here. I'm curious if he actually applied the boot to these very broken elves or not. I'll have to take a look at that game if I get the chance. The replay's still available. I might watch that tonight. Not FDA approved versus Fell with Coated Doll. ATL is in the chat. He was talking with me a little bit about this while we were waiting for you. He got the win here on a turn 16 wizard. Fell with Coated Doll set 3 scoring threats deep on turn 16. Because they had 2 turns to score. And so one of them was a strength 5 catcher. One of them was another catcher with, I think, a movement up. And the other one was a blitzer. But the blitzer was based and protecting the strength 5 piece. So he wizards the strength 5 piece. Gets a stun. He blitzes the movement up piece. And he knocks down the blitzer. And now there's no scoring threats. So a good saved wizard for turn 16. Gets him the win there over instead of a tie. Bit of blocks fest though. I mean, 81 blocks between 2 high elves. That's quite the game. I think both these teams have 2 mighty blow pieces too. So that's a lot. Cheese Tactics Mark II versus Please Don't Murder Me. Luke Sama was not able to get the win here against Cheesex. I was really rooting for him. 10 removals for Cheesex on 33 blocks. But he did block more, so kudos to Luke Sama for listening to what I've been telling him. 26 blocks is only 7 less than his opponent. Superfed quick math. So he did hang in there, and he did inflict an injury and 2 KOs against those orcs. So something to be proud of. I just still don't think the Wizard Stadium is doing him any favors, but this match was not played at his Wizard Stadium, so never mind. The Secret of My Success got the 2-1 win over the Lebowski Urban Achievers, and this is really starting to shape up to be a Chaos and Orc div, not the Elf div that everyone was expecting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. Chabsu is currently in first place with 2 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. The Secret of My Success equally 2-0-0. ATL and Cheese are at 1-1-0. Majority of everybody else is at 1-0-1. And Lebowski Urban Achievers, Please Don't Murder Me, and the Rebellious Scallions are in last place with 0-0-2. as their scoreline. So I'm really excited to see how this shapes up. But I'm gonna be surprised if Cheese gets relegated 3 seasons in a row. I think he's finally found his footing.
Oh yeah,
At 2100 TV. He finally might have hit the bottom.
Div 3 is Cheese's div. That's where he started. Cheese's first season was my first season.
Yeah. I am a bit surprised though with the High Elves not really doing. I mean, they're not out of it by any means, but certainly not dominating thus far. What about you? Any big surprises or shakeups here in the first couple weeks?
I mean, not really. Everything seems to be going to
Booney being 1-0-1.
No, Spoonie was only doing so well in his other division because nobody had tackle. So now he's playing some tackle, so he's gonna have to adjust his game.
Yeah, fair amount of tackle.
Rats and goblins are gonna crumble when you can actually knock them down. So,
let's see, what else do we want to look at? Which team do we want to look at this week? Your pick.
Let's do the farm animals since they're off to a pretty solid run.
Farm animals. Yes. 1820 chaos. Plenty of money in the bank. A bench of 1. Nice random little strength up here that he recently got. That'll be useful at some point. I like the frenzy piece. Every team needs frenzy. The all apple pie. Tackle mighty blow. That's an interesting start, especially if he is really cheeky and goes claw next or piling on. He does have a solid removal piece though with tackle, block, claw, mighty blow in the rabbit number 2. And then a great ball carrier that's been hogging all the SPP. He needs to stop doing that. Really needs to stop doing that. I understand that it's winning him games, but he should be handing the ball off to these other guys, especially the Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors themselves are not looking so hot. Block guard, block, and a niggled mighty blow, claw, block.
Yeah, but a niggle on a AV9 piece isn't that big a deal most of the time.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm sure it's never gonna be an issue.
I mean, all the other claw teams, like, they don't even take claw, so
we'll get there. Some of the Necros, though, they can't avoid taking claw.
That's fair.
Yeah, so it's not indestructible, but he's playing a good, clean game. And he's not necessarily super high TV, so he's getting some inducements too.
Yeah.
I like the amount of tackle for the div.
Yeah.
I do think he's light on Mighty Blow compared to most Chaos at this TV. But he's got guard, got some blodge. I don't know, there's a lot to like here.
Yeah.
I actually probably would say he's out coaching teams more than, you know, his team's better than other teams.
Chab is a good coach. He's going to the World Cup with REBBL, isn't he?
I don't know. Maybe, probably.
Yeah, I thought he drew against Ornan first round.
Maybe. I definitely stopped paying attention to the World Cup the second I was in the competition. So,
no, I think he is. I'm curious what he's going to do with that strength piece.
I would assume block, guard, tackle, maybe stand firm.
Yeah, see, there he is. There's Ornan. He is going.
Nice. He's a good coach. I wish him luck.
Yeah. Also, there's the frenzy piece. Okay. I couldn't find the frenzy piece. I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Frenzy block. Yeah. It's just all these things are so low SPP compared to that ball carrier, the dog. He's at 91 SPP, and half of his players are less than 31 SPP.
Yeah, but the dog's also never died. Like a lot of these are on their second, third, and fourth iterations.
All the more reason to hand them the ball. Just
You do you, chap. You do you, man.
All right, let's take a look at next week. Grungy Desserts taking on Rebellious Scallions. Who do you like in that one?
The Onions. They're going to win.
All right, go Onions. Getting their first win there of the season. Mutants in Human Clothing versus Common Consulting. I like Spoonie in this one.
You see, I'm going to...
Oh, really?
I'm going to give it to the Camry.
Not a lot of tackle on that Camry team, but they do have a Palmer.
Yeah, there's not a lot of tackle, but there's a lot of strength for Spoonie to deal with. And skeletons are great for absorbing troll hits.
What's a 3-die? Fell with Coated Doll versus Scooby and the Gang. Scooby and the Gang notably out a Strength 4 werewolf, and they only have one werewolf with no skills. I'm going to ask the resident Necro what you would do with 500 TV and inducements against the team that is largely blodge, 2100 high elves.
I would get a wizard. I would get Cheney, and then I would cry because the wizard's going to fail and Cheney's not going to knock anything down.
That sounds about right. I think we're both in agreement on the high elves winning that one.
Yeah.
Luke Sama versus Murderer's Row, a similar high elf versus necro match. Only this time, a werewolf has Mighty Blow Tackle, and the other wolf has Sure Hands, I believe, and Blodge.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I'm going to give that to the Necro.
Okay. I'll take Luke Sama. I think he's due. He's due. He's got to turn it around. He listened to me last week. He threw his blocks. Toughed it out. Think he's due. Lebowski Urban Achievers versus not FDA approved. What say you?
ATL's going to win that.
Yeah, Super Dragon 6000 is in fighting form. I would like to see Lebowski Urban Achievers collect a troll tool or two. And, even if they give up the win there,
all right,
make sure ATL's team is feeling it.
That's a Sure Dog's team, right?
It is.
Hey, Sure Dog, if you're listening, if you kill Super Dragon, I will give you a $30 Steam key.
You heard it here, folks. The Secret of My Success versus Cheap Tactics Mark II, the Orc on Orc mirror match between, Cheese, the guy, here a lot around Discord.
I'm going to give it.
And Rusty Seabutter.
I'm giving it to Rusty.
I bet you are. I'm going to go ahead and...
He is one of my new lineman league admins.
Gonna go. Well, they both are.
Yeah, but
this is actually this is personal for you.
The thing is,
your two admins going at it.
The thing is, I inherited Cheese when I inherited the league.
You should be hyping this up, man.
I chose. You should be
Rusty taunting these two. You should be taunting these two.
Well, I didn't know they were gonna play, so.
Oh, come on! Now you got to do it. You got to do it. Sorry, ATL. I'm sure somebody will have to alert Sure Dog to that special belt.
Oh, is Orange Storm ATL? Man, you got too many names. Pick one and stick with it.
He does. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna pick Cheese. I think Rusty's missing something next week. So.
Oh, I think Rusty's got it because he's got a lot more guard than Cheese does.
Let me take a peek. He's going to be missing a Blodge Guard tackle piece, a Blodge Guard blitzer. And he's going to be missing an Agi 4 line orc, which is, mostly useless. So he's going to be with loners and no bench is the only weakness I really see from Rusty Seabutter. But you're absolutely right. He does have the guard advantage. He's got some developed black orcs. He's got some stand firm. I love stand firm.
Yeah.
And he's got Solo Vexer. That's kind of a big
Yeah,
deal.
that's a hell of a
If
blitzer.
Rusty Seabutter loses, he loses because he tries to do anything cheeky with his strong arm accurate thrower, and he gets punished for it by an intercept by Cheese-X's stupid goblin. That's exactly how Rusty Seabutter loses this game.
I love that goblin so much.
So dumb. So dumb. It's about to get level. Oh my god! It's about to get level 6.
Yeah, he's rounding up on legend. I can't wait for that to happen. This is going to be the first legend goblin.
Look at that nose.
Like, what do you even take next? He's got dodge. He's got pro.
Well, he doesn't have sidestep, which is actually a useful skill. So of course, naturally, that would be the last, non-double that he takes. He's probably going to get a third double, and he's not going to get wrestle or block. He's going to get like tackle. He's gonna, or even better, he'll get some strength skill like guard. I could totally see him doing that.
I really hope that he gets a strength up.
Hey, Salted Cow-chan. It's resurrected of a stream. Mostly just Blood Bowl now, though. Oh, God. What a terrible, terrible thing.
It would be kind of cool, because I know Cheese wouldn't pass it if he got an armor up. I bet he would take the armor up on the goblin.
He would take movement. I don't think he's that bad. But he would definitely not take block or wrestle. Yeah.
Wait, you existed as a person before Blood Bowl?
I did exist as a person way back when. The Elite Dangerous Vainglory days. Yeah. Used to do a lot of MOBA stuff. All right. So I think that's it for Div 3. Let's go ahead and move on to Division 2. Div 2. The land of many minutes. Still another bye week. Eat, Pray, Shove still working on their internet connections. Drakewald Day Labors versus your Lizard Airy. Drakewald Day Labors lost this one. Excuse me. Sukari coming back big. I think we actually predicted this one for Sukari to come back with the win. 49 blocks, or I predicted it, I should say. Getting a couple removals, edging it out, but actually quite a number of scores between the two. Using that movement 8. Lords of Decay lost to Fear and Bloating. Again, I didn't get any predictions from Rumblebee because he was at a Whitesnake concert.
And Foreigner.
Does not help.
Would it help if it was free?
Nope. 9 removals for Fear and Bloating on 50 blocks. Hyper Control, Lords of Decay, giving up those blocks. Still not really suffering any permanent injuries because it's the Khaleesi Maya way. Every injury that Lumi takes is one that Khaleesi doesn't. TeamSpeak Crew version 4 taking on Tooth and Fist. Got the 2-0 win. Finally, the Chorfs remember how to chorf and chorf their way to a chorf victory. 47 block chorfs. And, stuff. Chorf. Yeah. Let's see. Nurgle FTDs taking on Legland Blue in a 1-1 draw between my two favorites for this division. Sauce and Thessa. Really duking it out. 32 blocks from the Wood Elves, man. Thessa knows how to block. Crazy. Even against Nurgle, too.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Three Mountains versus Live Tree or Die Hard, Casa Boogaloo, Electric Boogaloo, and his Resurrection Tour against Duberman. Both these teams were relegated last season, and I think this went a similar way last season. I predicted Duberman to win because it's early in the season where he usually does better. I was wrong. This is just an absolute pitch clear. 11, 12, 13 removals for Three Mountains as we get some more super fed quick math. And yeah, okay. You're gonna start your own recap stream, Rumblebee?
Yeah.
I wonder how you would be late to your own stream. Would that mean that you like don't actually do the stream when you're late?
Just leave me alone, man.
All right, just checking. Ace Trucking Company versus Not an Anime Sports Team. 1-1 draw. Arch XL is not excelling at the Div 2 thus far.
Come on, Duke. I picked you to win it all.
He's really keeping the bash in there, though. 36 to 33 blocks. That is a slugfest for High Elves. And considering he had 9 removals against him, and he still kept up in blocks,
Yeah,
that's kind of
most
crazy.
of them are KOs. He probably just didn't stay down.
Kind of want to watch this one to see what happened there. Yeah, there you go. 1 successful KO roll, 8 KO failures.
Okay, so maybe he did stay down.
Oh, I'm sorry, Arch.
Quicks, what did you do, man? How'd you let him get 33 blocks if he only had like 3 players?
I don't understand. I need to watch this game. I don't get it. How many of these are 1-dies? That's what I'm going to look at. 1, 2. Only 3 1-dies, too. I don't understand. Oh, no, this is his... wait, no, that is right. God, I don't understand. I don't understand how he did that. But whatever. Yeah, that is it for those games. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Casabulu is the only one with 2 wins. How does that make you feel, Rumblebee?
I mean, good for him. How's his runner doing?
Let's check on his runner. There it is. Fine. He's 12 SPP away from legend. Look at those eyes, man. Oh, it's not as noticeable here. Look at those, just the stare.
Yeah, that's
of that runner.
That's one of my favorite things about playing dwarves. Like my my lineman dwarves, I have a palming longbeard, and every time I do it, I have the animations turned on, and his eyes are just dead, and he just like stares at the camera while he's doing it.
I think this particular head option has the weirdest looking eyes.
Yeah,
and the jaw just hangs open, like he's just herder. I done outsmarted myself.
I forgot that he said that.
Oh, the memes are spicy tonight, boys.
His team looks great, though.
It does. Look at all that guard, Mighty Blow.
Like I'm jealous.
All right. Good night, ATL. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Yeah, back to the leaderboard. We've got the teams that I think are actually in the competition here. Legland Blue and Nurgle FTDs. Arch is up there as well. And Fear and Bloating at 1-1-0. No big shocks. At the bottom, Quicks is the 2-2, or the double draw. And Kalisti Maya, Michaels on the lower side. Moniker at 0-0-2. And Eat, Pray, Shove losing by a admin decision. So, I don't know. It's not too late for Moniker or Kalisti or Michaels, but they need to crank it up a little bit. Let's take a peek at the old calendar for week 3. Tooth and Fist turn to get the old bye unless Eat Pray Shove can figure out the internet. LeGland Blue versus Fear and Bloating, another top team face-off against a Nurgle team for LeGland Blue. They're really getting those Nurgle matches out of the way early, which is probably in his best interest. But I still like Thessa in this matchup. What say you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the elves.
Good choice. Duberman taking on Sukari. Duberman's team is not too bad a shape, I think. Let me peek at that.
Yeah.
They are the oldest team in this division. They are missing a Mighty Blow War Dancer, but he does have another one. And a Wrestle Dauntless catcher, but I don't think that's going to make a big difference in this matchup. The Agi 5 Strong Arm Accurate 2+ Long Bomb Howitzer, Corbin Dallas III, is healthy and well. I think that would have been more important than catcher for sure. He does seem like he's missing catchers. Maybe he did lose something last game.
Yeah, didn't he have a death? Maybe one of his catchers died.
He did. That's a bummer. I mean, this team's looking pretty lean. Which way do you lean on this one?
I think if Duberman can score fast or pull off some nonsense, Susarki will tilt, and then the elves are just going to run all over him.
He did. Sukari, unlike some lizards, I'm not naming any names, can steer his way out of tilt, I've seen. The game, I think it was week 1, it very easily could have been a 4-0 win for LeGland Bleu, and he managed to keep it at a 3-2. And it was a close 3-2 ending, considering how one-sided and skewed it was at the halftime. So I will say you're not wrong that he can tilt, but he can also pull it back.
That's fair.
I will probably still take Duberman, though. Not an Anime Sports Team versus the High Fivers. Necro versus Arch. I like Arch to win this one, and I know you're going to say that because you picked him to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Don't let me down, Arch.
Ace Trucking Company versus the Drackwall Day Laborers. Is this going to be the Drackwall Day Laborers' first win? I believe this is a rematch as well.
No. I'm giving it to Kicks.
No. That's fair. I'll go out on a limb and say that the Drackwall Day Laborers are due a good pounding. And we'll still suck this one out. Three Mountains versus Lords of Decay.
It's going to be the Dwarves. As much as I hate.
Hyper Control versus more Mighty Blow than any other team in this division.
I mean, Kalisti is due a throttling. His rats have to break eventually. And it'll be just our luck that...
Oh, you're going that way with it?
Yeah.
See, I'm going the other way with it, where I'm like, I think it won't even matter if there's 18 Mighty Blow on the Three Mountains, because there's so many rats that he can just throw at the problem.
Just throw wave after wave of your own men at it.
He's also still got the impenetrable shield, which is never losing a player. So I think this is going to be Chaos Bulu's kryptonite. I have picked against Chaos Bulu more often than not this season, and he's in first place. So I'm probably wrong here. But I'm still going to go with Kalisti on this one.
Okay, well then we're going to have to talk about this next week.
I look forward to it.
We should start make like little side bets.
I know that's Stake Mitten and Shador's kick. They've got a whole point system and on picks and everything too. Very complicated.
Yeah.
Far more effort than it's worth. And we both know that, you're going to be at best here 50% of the time. So I don't know that I want to get too invested in it.
Giving us one recap.
Nurgle FTDs versus TeamSpeak Crew version 4. Do you feel saucy?
No, because this is the real season, and you can't win in the real season.
I mean, that was a true meme several seasons ago. He's been trying to shake it off, but I will happily counterpick you on this one and say that, yes, he will win this one.
All right.
I'm feeling saucy. That's it for Div 2. One Div left. We can finally stop. I can finally move on from Blood Bowl for this day.
All right, I'm gonna
And not keep dwelling on my misfortune.
I need tag Sace real quick.
Did he want to be tagged when we talked about Div 1?
Yeah. He wants to hear you fuck it up. I mean,
such a prima
he
donna.
wants to hear you screw it up. Pardon my French.
Such a prima donna. All right. Let's go back and look at week 2. The Grove to Greens got a 2-0 win over New Year Norse. Ornan is getting picked apart this season. His nearly naked men are not holding up so well. 34 blocks, 15 armor breaks, 8 removals, including 3 injuries and a death. Conversely, the nearly naked men, 29 blocks, 3 armor breaks, 0 removals, and an expulsion. Ornan this season decided he was going to play for the memes and be going heavily into Boomer. And it's not paying off so well. I'd really like Ornan to not go for the Boomer plays every game and maybe try and do what got him to a Super Bowl win. But what do I know? Gloom and Zoom versus Iron Madden, the match that everybody wanted to watch. The battle of the... I can't say what I want to say. Magic Dice versus Strength Ups galore. That's what we'll call this. Lots of armor breaks for Gloom and Zoom. Unfortunately, no dead Camry. And we are all disappointed by that. There was a Kaz on a Tomb Guardian, but he regened it. He got all better. I think it was going to be an MNG too, which would have been a big deal. When you're playing Camry and you're missing Tomb Guardians, you're in for a bad time. But nope, he got all better. And Iron Madden got the win. Due to, of course, the... Oh god, this first half. There was a lightning bolt. Ball scatters out. I think there was a required 4+ dodge, 4+ pickup, 4+ dodge, GFI, and then the next turn, another 4+ dodge, GFI, all of which succeeded. No reroll needed. Gengar gets the win. Yeah. Boost Cruise versus Skinky Island Boys. Wave is not having the hottest start, but a 1-1 draw here isn't that surprising. I didn't call the draw because I try not to call draws. 78 blocks. Am I reading that right? Or is that 70?
That's 70.
70 blocks, okay.
Well, 70 blocks
Eyes are not
succeeded.
looking.
He might have made more.
Yeah, that's true. 70 blocks succeeded. That is a high score for Div 1 in a while. I think there's a couple games that are still, above the Cheez-Ix happenings, but it's always against the Booze Crews that everybody gives up all these blocks.
Yeah, it's because Motley took a bunch of stand firm on his longbeards. You can't get rid of them.
What's more impressive to me, though, is of those 70 blocks, there were only 4 armor breaks, and of those 4 armor breaks, there were 0 removals. On the other side of the coin, 51 blocks, no removals, 3 armor breaks. Is this not the biggest cock tease in all of Rebel history?
I don't know. Did you see my playoff game versus James Typhoon?
Don't even get me started on that. 121 blocks, 0 removals.
Oh.
I wonder if this game was played at the same time my Kislev game was played last week, where I got 0 removals until turn 16 on a Gutter Runner. and it was only a KO. I'm sure the dice are just stacked up that way. All right, moving on to games where things actually happen that anyone would be interested in. Necronomics got a 2-1 win over Straight Up Flatulence. Stubings beaten, battered, and bruised from his REL 1 welcome / shower party with Sace. Tons of armor breaks back and forth here. In fact, Stubings got the better end of the blocks. No doubt Necronomics were just throwing zombies at him, but 51 blocks to 38. But of those 51 blocks, only 8 KOs, no injuries, no kills. Necronomics, 2 injuries, 1 kill. So, putting the hurt on. Straight Up Flatulence, just not quite able to keep up with the big boys.
Yeah, I think
Big boys,
Stubing's death was an important one too. Like it was a pretty level piece.
Meaningful piece.
Yeah.
Lovely. We'll have to check in on that. Speaking of big boys, Animal Farm gets the 2-0 win over the Oil Miners. And there was a death here. The Legend Killer, as he has dubbed himself in the Discord channel, Sace, late in the game, late in the game, goes for the kill on the Strength 5 Dwarf Runner and succeeds.
Wasn't it a
and he called the shot too. He called the shot too.
Yeah.
I didn't refute your title. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in chat where you said you were not the legend. No, I'm kidding. You've definitely killed more legends than anyone else. You are indeed the legend killer.
Yeah, doesn't he have?
I'm not saying
he's got 5, doesn't he?
I mean, if you want to count Rod.
Hey, get a player legend, then you can talk.
I wanted to keep. I should have kept my orcs. Should have kept my orcs till I had Riley to legend. But then I would have known that she would have been taken from me. And that would have been worse, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Better to not have a legend than all than have a legend and lose it.
See, heroes.
You know I'm right. You know I'm right. You can't even finish your thought because you know I'm right.
I just didn't want to mess up the quote. All right. Heroes live forever. Legends never die.
Oh, okay. We're going Sandlot.
Yeah.
Going Sandlot on me. All right.
Rod was turned into a trophy. Where's Riley?
Oh, I know where Riley is. She's a trophy, all right.
Some digital nonsense on your computer. All right.
She's a trophy, all right. Anyway, let's go on. Go on to other things. Hey, guess what? Sourpuss got a win. Rats off to you versus Pro in the Party. Solo Dragonfire. Will I ever win a game? I don't know. Div 1's no fun. Guess what? Soul of Dragonfire got his win. He's not even in last place now. What is he gonna do now? How is he gonna whine and complain? Well, don't worry. Tune in next week. We'll find out.
He's playing Sace, so.
Oh, I gotta play Sace, guys.
Yeah.
Gonna just kill everything. Got all the tackle.
You need to do that voice more often.
It's gonna be a commercial. Are you tired and depressed and sad of Blood Bowl? Yeah, I am. Play Pro in the Party in Div 1.
Oh, we love your soul.
Pastry Pest taking on Tribu Urbana. 2-1 win for the Pastry Pest. This one, he really wanted to play like he did against Soul, where he just gets all the removals on his one Storm Vermin. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out that way. The results here don't really tell the tale. The first half, nothing was working for the Pastry Pests. They could not get knockdowns, and the ones they did get did not break armor. And Tribu Urbana kept a lot of pressure on them. However, at one point they slipped up, and once they slipped hard. And then they just kept diving repeatedly over and over again. They would succeed the 5+ cage dive and get a 1 die on the ball carrier, and Skull. And that exact same thing happened 4 times. So you kind of, you do feel bad at one point when you consider the amount of dice he had on the ball carrier. But at the same time, when you're making a 5+ dodge to get that dice on the ball carrier, you can only get so much.
Yeah. Am I looking at this right? Is that 93% ball possession?
Yes, that is correct. There was a blitz in the second half.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was definitely not stacked in Tribu Urbana's favor from the start. But he started on defense first, and he kept a lot of pressure on the Rats. But the Rats had a bench, and so even if he did get some removals, it wasn't going to be a big deal. Short kick into a blitz. Pastry Pest got the ball, and that was all she wrote. There was, however, a very, 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 very good one-turn success from Tribu Urbana. So if you're interested in one-turn plays, check out turn 8 on Lumi's stream, and you can see that Hipster is not only capable, but well-positioned to do one-turns in this division. So if you haven't played Tribu Urbana yet, make sure that you're prepared for that when the time comes. Let's take a look. Oh, good. Did you have something to say on that?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of one-turns, how's Lumi's new one doing?
Didn't get used for that, and he really, really wanted to hand him the ball, but didn't get the opportunity to, because every time he was in scoring range, the elves kind of knocked him over and stunned him. So, not getting the levels he wants. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. The Grody Greens are in first place with Necronomics, Pastry Pest, and Iron Madden. Again, no big surprises there. Sace rounding things out in 5th place. Keeping in the hunt. He hasn't eliminated himself from the playoffs yet. Gloom and Zoom on the outside looking in. Throwing the party. 7th place. I hate playing in Div 1. Still in the competition. And then there was a game played, so Stubings and Motley are back there at 2-1 or 0-2-1. Any surprises for you?
I'm surprised Hipster's down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm not. It's pros and Div 1.
That's fair.
But he did play a couple softer teams, so we'll see how he does against the bashier ones. Next week, looking at where that's at before we finish this off. We've got the Grody Greens versus the Pastry Pests. And I'm going to go ahead and expect Lumi to win this one. But this will be the first real big test for the Grody Greens. What say you?
Lumi's going to win. I've learned to never bet against Lumi.
That's a good bet. Tribu Urbana versus Rats Off to You. We just saw Soul beat Golgothan last week. I expect Hipster will do the same.
Yeah, probably.
Pro in a Party versus Animal Farm.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Soul. I think he's gonna bitch and he's gonna moan, and I think nothing is gonna happen to his team.
Yeah,
I'll give it a 2-1 win. I'll even call it a score.
I'll take Sace. Animal Farm versus Necronomics.
You mean Oil Miners versus Necronomics?
Oil Miners versus Necronomics.
I'm gonna give that to Cricket. I think Pig Sofa is going to be reeling from losing his Strength 5 runner. Losing a piece like that is gonna mess with your game for a little bit.
That's fair. I completely agree. We just saw the result of that one. The Skinky Island Boys versus Gloom and Zoom. I'm gonna go ahead and take Gloom and Zoom. Actually, no. I'm taking Wave.
You're gonna take Wave?
Wave. Wave is due, and Necro is favored in this matchup, but I'm still taking Wave.
Nah. Fiction knows all you have to do is follow him a couple times. And get all the dancing zombies.
Fair. Iron Madden versus New Year Norse. Does Ornan have a prayer?
He's got Dauntless.
Does Ornan have a prayer?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so either. Fair enough. I would love to see him shenanigan his way to a win there, though. And actually, that's the kind of trap game that Gengar historically loses. So I will go ahead and predict Ornan to win this one, just on the lull factor.
I mean, I want Ornan to win.
But don't you just see it? Like, it's AV7, so he's going to foul every turn. He's going to get send-offs. and then Ornan's gonna do some stupid bomb play with the Bombardier and scatter it out of bounds and land in Ornan's hands and walk it in for a touchdown. Boom goes the dynamite.
Apparently Ornan lost his Dauntless.
Ugh. All right. I don't know about that. Still gonna go with Ornan. He'll just buy a runner or get a loner runner with a level. He's gonna have a ton of inducements. But yeah, that's all the time I've got tonight. I gotta get out of here. But thanks for showing up, albeit late. I will get you next time.
All right.
Good luck with your game this week.
Thanks.
Break Krazoot's team.
That's the plan.
Make him cry. Make that old man cry. All right. Night, everybody.
All right. Bye.